Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again, a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me asking you if you would like a reading. That is not me. I will not be soliciting you for anything. All right, fantastic. Now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Now let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Cancer. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, 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 Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Ooh, fantastic. I love it how it just fell in place and you have one bonus card, Cancer. Okay. And now let's see what your chakra cards have to say. Cancer. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Cancer. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Cancer. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. Now, okay, so it's very interesting. While I was shuffling, the crab kept on coming through, which is a sign of you, Cancer, of course, in the zodiac. And Spirit kept on saying, be mindful of the pincers and the shell. So during this time, be mindful of the shell, of going into your shell, of, having this hard kind of protective surface around you, and the pincers clasping on to things. Okay, so we're going to see how that works in, but I thought that was a very interesting message. Play, the heart chakra. Now this is going to be where we need to work on during this time. The chakra energy that isn't flowing as well, and play comes into play. And so here, with the shell that Spirit showed us, there is a sense of not really fully embracing the heart. It's almost like I have to protect myself. Now, Cancer, you're a deeply emotional, feeling, connective person. But, put anybody through enough, hurt anybody's heart enough. And that connection can be seen as almost a weakness. It's like, I'm too sensitive, I'm too kind, I get hurt too easily type of thing. And so here, focusing on the heart chakra, focusing on letting play come into your life, letting joy come into your life, letting passion and beauty and laughter be a part of you, that's going to be so important. And to really let your heart chakra shine is not to be thinking about things too much, which I know is hard to do. Our minds seem to rule our lives. But this is letting yourself kind of connect with the breath, connect with the moment, be in the moment, almost like a child playing. When you watch a child play, play is their work, of course. It's how they learn, it's how they discover. But they're absolutely in the moment. And with children, they don't know the difference between needs and want. So here, they need to play. It's their need as well as their want. And during this time, you're going to need to let yourself express joy, whether it's putting on a movie that you just find hysterical and laughing, and, just doing something silly, getting up and dancing while, you're kind of cleaning up and everything like that. Letting yourself have joy come in instead of things be a drudgery. That's going to be so important for you, Cancer. People might look at you and be like, oh, well, that's silly. Or, people might not understand, if you're living with people, or your family might look at you and like, oh, you're being so crazy. No, let the joy come in. You'll actually see that it's contagious. People start to embrace it. And then we have self-mastery. This is the solar plexus chakra. This is going to be a time where you doubt yourself a lot. And this is going to be a time where you're kind of ignoring your gut feels. But also remember, your gut is your second brain. So here, as you're embracing the solar plexus chakra, as you're listening to your gut, as you're listening to yourself, there is a sense of falling into alignment with who you need to be, who you want to be. And it can almost feel like during this time, it's like you fall into alignment, you have moments where you just feel blessed and blissed, and just like, yes, I found it, and then it slips away. And so here, it's focusing on your breath. It's focusing on the moments, not the bigger picture, not the future, not the past. It's being in the moment and seeing yourself kind of master your energy, master what it is that you desire through the here and the now. And then it brings you to listening, the throat chakra, listening to yourself, listening to the world around you. Also, there's a huge coming together of, I love it how you have the throat chakra, the heart chakra, and then the solar plexus chakra. It's like it goes down. Having these come together, it's like your gut will tell you what it needs and what it doesn't, what food or drink is right for it and what isn't. Your heart will tell you the emotions that raise it up, or the emotions that let you down. And the listening is going to be so important. We're so used, and our world values so much people who are loud and obnoxious. If I can talk over you, I'm obviously right. That type of energy. It's like, no. If I can listen, if I can connect, if I can have the heart come forward, then I have created a beautiful paradox of self, a beautiful reality of being, a beautiful place for me. So this is going to be a time where listening is hard because everybody is talking and you want to be heard. Excuse me. But there's a need to step back and say, what is it that I truly want? What is it that I truly need? What is it that's truly beautiful for me? And not also letting you listen to everybody else overpower you listening to yourself. So the left-hand side is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see. We have the Three of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles. I like that digression. the Eight of Wands, the Tower. That's not bad at all. I know you're seeing the Tower and you're going, oh no. And you have the Eight of Wands, which is the minor arcana change card, kind of like the Tower card coming in, ready or not, here it comes. So there's a change that's coming in around the prosperity that you've worked so hard towards. The Fool, a new path, moving forward with your heart. The Wheel of Fortune, a change coming in, Judgment and Temperance. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is why the shell is so important to you. Your heart gets hit hard. It just absolutely gets hit hard. This is all major arcana cards. So the minor arcana cards, we can kind of wiggle around. They're not as powerful. Or, yeah, they're not things... Yeah, they're not like stones set in the ocean or rocks set in the ocean that we're trying to move our ship around. They can be little waves that come our way, that kind of veer us this way or that way. But the heart here is definitely guiding the course. The Hermit, which is Virgo energy, time frame of August 23rd to September 22nd. The Four of Pentacles. The Moon, Pisces energy, February 19th to March 20th. And the Page of Pentacles. And then your bonus card is the Queen of Swords, which is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay. Just give me a moment. That's what you're going to need to do a lot during this time, Cancer. It's also going to be something you find very hard to do, to say, give me a moment, let me take it in, let me see how I feel, and then let me move forward. There is going to be a time here where you just need to connect. And it's connecting with you, it's connecting with what you desire, and that's where the listening is going to come in so importantly. Because there's something that you've created, right? And that creation is your prosperity, it is your abundance, it is what you've worked so hard for, it illuminates your path forward, it illuminates your past. It really helps you see things in a light of, this is what I've been working for. But people come in and people want to claim your prosperity. They want to claim your success. And you're juggling so much during this time with the Two of Pentacles. It's like you have what everybody expects of you. You have what you expect of you. You have what you want to achieve and what you need to do. You have yourself juggling a lot. And people are going to come in and say, you're successful because of me. You have this power because of me. This is because of, or it's going to be the tone of their voice. And that can really make you really start doubting yourself. It's like, well, could I have done this on my own? Or was it because somebody came in and saved me? Here's the thing. There is nobody who comes in and saves without a price, right? So even if you're sitting there and saying this person helped you, there is always a price, even if it's just emotional or psychological. There is a sense here of what you have created for you, whether somebody helped you or not, which was their choice. It is now you that have created the path that you are on, the prosperity that you are walking, the way that you are handling things. So here with the Three of Pentacles, it's nice for a collaboration. It's nice to have things coming together. But the main people that you need to collaborate with during this time are your angels and your spirit guides, which sounds funny to say, but it is going to be the way that you use this power within you, because you have a tendency with this Virgo energy. Oh my goodness. Let me take a sip of water. I do apologize. Okay, that's much better. With this Virgo energy coming forward, there is a need for you to turn inward, see what you want, see what you need, not to close the shell around you, because that is very much what Spirit is warning against, kind of becoming too insular, but to look at what you desire and let that light guide you. Let that light be your illumination forward, because this is the prosperity that you are embracing within your life. And there is so much that you are balancing, and there is so much that you are doing that you're going to forget about you. You're also going to forget to give yourself the credit that you deserve, to say, good job, me, because you have done a good job. You have overcome so much. You have come so far. But the first person, Cancer, that you always put on the back burner, that you always forget about, is yourself. And so here, as you stand in your truth, as you stand in your power, to sit there and say, I'm not forgetting me anymore. And if I forget me, if I don't look at me, if I don't embrace my joy, embrace myself, embrace my power, everything else crumbles. So now it is time for me to stand in the power of my truth, to stand in the power of the prosperity that I am planting within my life, within the power of what I am juggling, of where I want to be, of the truth that I am calling forward. And it's bringing you here to this powerful change because you're looking at the seeds that are in your life that you have been building and nurturing and mastering and seeing a greater calling for. And now divinity is saying, ready or not, here comes change. Ready or not, here comes power. Ready or not, here comes truth. And you're going to start to see yourself taken out of your comfort zone. Your inner self, there has been something that you have been focusing on. Now, it can be you've been focusing on money instead of focusing on you. And you might be sitting there and saying, Dane, I need to focus on money. Money is important. It is important. It absolutely is important. People who think money isn't important have never gone without money. They haven't. And that's a blessing to them. But there can be a fear around money, especially if you've had, disappointments happen, poverty happen, just scary things happen in your life. And so here you're looking at the prosperity that needs to lead you forward, but you can't forget about you because there is a sense here of saying, I'll think about me later. I'll think about this later. And you're starting to see yourself really tied up and really your identity tied up with the success that you have or the failures that you have. And this is a time to realize that you are not your successes and you are not your failures, meaning that you are simply you. And I know that sounds so, okay, thanks, Dane. Like, I am simply me. That's great. But what Spirit is saying here is that when you succeed, it's not you succeeding. There is this grace that has guided you towards success. There is this power inside of you that has been listened to. Your angels, your spirit guides have lifted you up. This connection with the divine has guided you forward. You've seen the God's head within, and you've connected to a higher energy, a higher grace. When you fail, it's not that all that has left you. Okay? And it's not that you have failed. There are lessons that need to be learned that can only be learned sometimes in the trenches. They can only be learned in hardships and pains and disappointments, in poverty and despair, in devastation. And as you rise up, as you're pulling things back together, as you're balancing your prosperity with your present, as you're balancing your prosperity with your fear of the past, as you're moving yourself forward, you're going to see a change coming in. And there's a change of, I've walked through the darkness. I've walked through the doubt, and I've walked through the fear. I'm not going to sever the ties. I'm not going to cut away what I need, the power that is me. And there's a sense here of connecting, of spiritually moving forward, of sitting there and saying, this is my fire and this is my passion. This is a pivotal part of who I am. And I embrace my truth, I embrace my glory, and I embrace me moving forward to new heights and betterment of self. There's something that is happening, and it's happening around something that you just can't ignore. You just cannot ignore it. And it's like, I'm going to turn this direction. I'm going to look at it like this. And it roots you in tower change. Change that says, ready or not, here it comes. Change that says, I'm taking you so far out of your comfort zone that at times you may want to cry, or that I have taken you so far out of your comfort zone, and now you're seeing why. And this is a change that rocks us to our core. This is a change that we sit there and we're not going to be the same person after. Because life is hard, and life breaks us. When we're little and we're idealistic, especially if you have a really secure, safe childhood, when you have a fearful childhood, that shows. But when you think you can accomplish anything, and you go out into the world and you're like, I'm awesome, and then you fall down, like you remember those moments. You're like, oh wow. You start to become really cautious and become cautious. Or you get up again and you're like, okay, I tripped, I'm going to go. And there's only so many times we can fall before we sit there and think, no thanks. And so the tower here is like, there's only so many times I can see what I gave my life to broken. There are only so many times I can hope for things to be different and watch them being exactly the same. And what the tower is showing us, it's that it is time for us to fly. It is time for us to, instead of looking at and thinking, I can't create it without somebody else. I have so much to balance. I have so much in the air that I cannot spend time focusing on me. There's a change that has you looking at your passion and at your power. There's a change that rocks you to your core, that makes you stop and say, wait a minute, what do I want? What do I need? Who am I? What am I? Where do I stand? And it's like all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put it back together again. Right? Isn't that Humpty Dumpty? They couldn't put him back together again. Because force does not repair. Force cannot rebuild, cannot heal. Love can. A king is force. A king is might. It's absolute right and absolute power. Divine right, chosen by God, right? Soldiers are to reinforce that force. Here is saying it is time to heal. It is time to see that, yes, you've been pushed out of your comfort zone. Yes, things aren't the same. Yes, you have gone through tremendous transformations in your life, and you have known tremendous pain and fear. But this is because your heart is calling for you for more. And there's going to be such a battle here. It's almost like a battle you haven't faced in quite some time, all right? Or maybe ever before, because your heart wants more. Your heart is resurrecting itself. Your heart is giving itself wings. Your heart is saying, I'm an angel and I am going to fly. Because there is a spirit of truth and divinity within me. And your inner self is going to be like, oh no, I couldn't do it without them. And I have so much that I need to do. And, things are changing, but I need to take it slow. And your heart doesn't want to take it slow. It wants to push the barriers. So you start here with the Fool. The Fool is the hero's path. Now it's people saying, oh my gosh, are you foolish? Like, can you believe this? People might not understand. They might go, oh, you're doing that. Like, that's awesome. No, don't do it. But what if you listen to that voice inside of you, that change inside of you, that's calling you forward? Now, yes, other people might not fully understand, and it might take a little bit for you to find exactly where you need to stand. But there is power here. There is brilliance here. There is faith in self. There is a sense of, I am on my hero's journey. I am on a path I haven't expected. I am walking a dream that I didn't think I could walk. And I'm moving forward in a way I didn't think I could move forward. Your heart is crowned with an open arm, and with open arms and saying, it's time. And you're sitting there and you're looking at it and you're like, it's time for what? Like, we've been through enough. Can't we just have quiet? Can't we just, sit and have a cup of tea and be okay? See what nice quiet things we can do. And your heart is like, oh no, now it's time to live big. Meaning that it's time to have your heart come forward. It's time to embrace your heart chakra. It's time to say emotionally, what is my truth? Now, when we say emotionally, what is my truth? That can be a little tricky, because emotions are tricky things. And if we always live in our emotions, we can be complete and utter chaos. And you can find that if people really embrace their emotions a lot, a change that can come in for them is then to go to the complete opposite side of the coin, right? And be logic. Just be completely logical. And now it all has to be logical, it has to follow the rules. What you want is someplace right in the middle, which is being in the here and the now, which is looking at your emotional self, is looking at how you feel about things, what your heart is saying. It's also looking at what your mind is saying. And it's saying, how do I come together in me? How do I walk in my truth? How am I present enough to let my dreams come forward and let my heart guide me? Now, Cancer, you're a bit lucky because your heart lives on the surface. Like with water sign energies, you guys are your hearts all the time. And you're a fierce warrior of your heart, even though a lot of times people underestimate you. So here you are walking forward and saying, this is me. And there is such a sense of needing to do this, of needing to say, this is me, this is my power, this is my grace, this is my beauty, this is who I am. Whether it's, starting to get into things that you were into when you were younger, like starting to watch TV shows that you hadn't watched in forever, or read books that you hadn't read in forever, or things that you liked to collect, or, going for walks, or starting to play baseball, or whatever it is. It's like whatever you wanted to do. Now it's saying, well, why can't I? It's like, why can't I? Horseback riding lessons, why can't I? Do things safe, of course, everything like that. It's like now you're planning to have those beauties, those joys, those successes come into your life. And it's like, why can't I do this? Why can't I move forward this way? And so you're opening up your arms and you're seeing yourself guided. Because you're starting to let your heart say, lead me. And now, again, be very careful, because when we say, heart, lead me, we can start to get overly emotional in things. We can start to sit there and let chaos and doubt and fear and emotions kind of take over. But when it's the heart move, lead me, it's let me look at bliss. Let me look at joy. Let me look at comfort, success, in a very spiritual way. And let me have that guide me. Let me have that move me forward. It's kind of like being like a little kid, easily able to say no to things that don't bring you joy. That's what you're going to have to do during this time, to move yourself forward. And then it brings you to the wheel. It brings you to a new season in your existence. It brings you to a new way of moving forward. There's a change coming in. What's very interesting about this change is that it has you balancing a lot, because there's a lot that's going on and you feel almost like you're on a roller coaster. You have your highs, your lows, your lefts, your rights. Everybody wants something of you. And then you have the vampiric energy of the Four of Pentacles, that draining gook, those leeches that are on you, that vampiric energy, those vampires that are draining you. And you're still embracing change. You're still moving forward. You're still seeing things change and be empowered and be emboldened. And there is a sense here of seeing yourself break down barriers, and also seeing yourself embrace the season that you are in. It can be a season of patience. It can be a season of beauty. Everybody always wants a spring or a summer. Everybody always wants those times to be just overwhelmingly like beautiful and sunny and perfect. But we have falls, we have winters. And sometimes we can be embracing that knowledge and that change. It can be a calmer time. It can be a quieter time. You can need a quieter time. And you might say, Dane, how much more quiet can it be? Like, look at the world. Look at how everybody's closed away. Yes, but was your heart at peace? Or did your heart know tremendous fear during this time? And are you having to recalibrate yourself, recenter yourself in grace and in harmony? Because here, there's a wisdom that's coming forward by change, and also by chance, by the dice around the neck, kind of like the throw of the hand. What comes up? How do I move forward? Where will I be? What do I want? Because there's profound change that comes in that resurrects the power of the heart, the soul, and the self. There's a sense here that you're breaking out of shadows, doubts, and fears, that you're seeing yourself rise in a power that is more greatly and more profoundly you, that you're seeing yourself sit there and say, this is what I need, and this is who I am. This is what I desire, and this is what I've longed for. You're being resurrected. And that's very much in alignment with the Fool crowning you. She has her amethyst in her hand, for spiritual enlightenment. And so here you have yourself resurrection. You have the resurrection. You have yourself, your spirit rising. And it can be that you've lived in just existing for just too long, in doubts and angers and in chaos and in fear and in I just have to get through the day, And there's also a sense of, as you embrace the Fool, as you embrace the new journey, the Tower. Okay, what Spirit is saying here also is that the Tower can be when our lives fell apart. And what Spirit is saying here is it can be that divorce that just ruined things, right? It can be that addiction that took away your own say. It can be, the illness that came on, the disability that has defined you. It can be just so many things that you sit there and you're like, this isn't change, this is devastation. And Spirit is saying, yes, it is. Because there are times when we just fall, when we lose it all. This could be poverty, this can be heartbreak, this could be watching, people you love who are sick and you're helpless and you're like, oh my gosh. And it's like, how do I walk forward from here? How do I embrace my life? Because there's so much already on your shoulders. There's so much already that, at times you're just surviving, and people are like, oh, well, I'm helping you. Like, I did this for you. And it's like, that's not what you need. That's not what you need at all. There is a sense here of a change coming in. It's a change that sparks the passion. And you've either been through this, you're going through this, you're looking at this heartbreak, this pain, And it's like, why did I have to go through this? It's like, why did I have to go through so much pain? Where people live their whole lives without going through a tenth of what I've gone through. And what you're going to see here is that out of the greatest darkness is going to come a profound truth of your soul, a power of enlightenment that moves you forward. And you might think I'm a fool for saying it, for listening to Spirit and saying that something that so terrible can be so beautiful, can become something beautiful. I'm not saying that the addiction was beautiful or the abuse was beautiful or that the pain and the suffering was beautiful. What I'm saying is the power of your soul to rise and to go after your dreams is exquisite. And you have to stop putting yourself down, doubting and, sitting there and saying, oh, well, just getting through, just surviving. You're not, though. There's a change here that is coming, and that's the Wheel of Fortune, the new season that you're entering into. You're not just surviving anymore. And that's why you have to be mindful of the shell and the pincers, of going into your shell and saying, I'm just going to protect myself. Just need to be protected. Need to cut any, ties that can hurt or anything that can hurt me. No, there's a new day coming forward, and there's a power to you, okay, that has come through looking at yourself, looking at what you want, at what you need, looking at your power, your understanding, your truth, your being, and it raises you. It raises you. This is a time to start communicating with your angels and your spirit guides. I don't care if you journal. I don't care if you talk to them. This is a time to really start connecting, because you're going to be surprised at what comes forward. You're going to be surprised at the answers that you're given. When you go to sleep at night, ask your spirit guides, please guide my dreams. Give your spirit guide a name, any name that pops into your head. My spirit guide's name is Imani. Your spirit guide's name could be Jack or Joe or, anything, absolutely anything. And what you're going to see here is that you're rising in a way that you didn't think you could. You thought this was taken out of you. There was always going to be the fear. There was always going to be the darkness. There was always going to be the pain. There was always going to be the hurt. And you were never going to get to rise. It's like one bad decision, one unfortunate event. It got to change the whole entire course of your existence. It changed your soul, it did. But it's going to start to open you to something more. And it's not less than. It's just not. And it moves you here to your angels right there with you with Temperance. I love how his angel wings are showing. Night and day. The cycles of our lives, our subconscious and conscious self, guided by our angels, guided by our spirit guides, guided by the balance that they so desperately try to show us, and we so obstinately ignore. You're spreading your wings. You're finding the harmony within you. What do you need? How do you need it? What is it that you desire? It's time to listen. Your chakra, your throat chakra, it's time to listen. And as you listen, the light shines in. The light shines out. You embrace your truth, you turn inward, but not in a I'm going to defend myself sort of way, not in a they can't hurt me way, because I've closed the door. It's like I turn inward because your reality isn't my reality, because your pain doesn't get to be my definition, because there is more for me, and there is light guiding me, and truth leading me forward, and power becoming me. This is becoming conscious of self, of soul, of body. And the best way to do this, for me at least, when you focus on the body, you just kind of go into your body. And now when you're focusing on just your body, you can sit there and be like, oh, my feet are sore, my back hurts, my shoulders are tense, right? All the complaints kind of come up. Just start focusing on breathing. The taste of the air against your tongue. The rise and fall of your chest. the inhales and the exhales, the breath. And as thoughts come into your head, you just let them float away. You breathe them away because you're focusing simply on you, on your body, on your needs. And in the public arena, as odd as it might sound to say this is what you need, you're going to sit there and think, well, how? How can I have this come in? It's adopting these practices into your life to say, I'm here and I'm powerful for it. It isn't, having to do it every moment of every day. But it's even when things get stressful. If you're like me, you might find that you hold your breath when things get stressful. Now it's time to breathe through the stress. Now it's time to breathe into your mind, your existence, to be absolutely present. And oh my gosh, Cancer, the vampiric energy that is around you, the people who are trying to drain you, they don't know what to do with themselves. Because you become present and you start to look at that pain in your body. You start to look at that, everything that you're balancing and doing, and, the people who are taking credit for things that they have no right to take credit for. You start to sever the ties. It's be mindful of the pincers, because you start to sever those ties. Be mindful of what you release and what you keep on accepting. And it brings you to the moon. It brings you to looking at your fears, your subconscious and conscious self. That's going to be so important for you with the temperance and the moon. So you have Pisces and Sagittarius here. And as you're looking at what it is that you desire, Pisces energy is like meditate and contemplate, see, dive deeper. But it also brings up fears. And it's like you can become so afraid so easily. And it's not you, Cancer, it's the whole entire world. Everybody can fall into a panic so easily. And it's like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not letting fear guide me. Fear take away my power. Fear take away my voice. It's being balanced. It's looking at what you're afraid of and saying, why? Why am I afraid of this? Why is this defining me? Why is this holding me back? Why? Because we're going to start to see, and if you do this, you start to see that fear, of course, is a protective mechanism. It's that fight or flight type of thing. And what you're afraid of, your subconscious is trying to protect you. It's like, don't go into the dark, scary room. You don't know what's there. Don't wander off into the woods. You don't know what's there. It's very primordial, okay? So when we are afraid of things, we're afraid of the dark because we can't see. We're sight hunters. We're like apex sight hunters. So not being able to see, huge deal for us. If we were scent hunters, if not being able to smell, that would be devastating for us. But not being able to see is our thing. It's so interesting how much we rely on our sight and yet how blind we can be. And so here, as you're opening up your eyes to your fears, and you're not shoving them away in a corner, you're not saying, that's bad to be afraid, that's bad to be angry, what the heck is wrong with me? I'm supposed to be in peace all the time. You just got mad at yourself, so you took yourself right out of peace. It's looking at things, and it's saying, why? Why am I afraid? Why am I overwhelmed? What is going on? Why am I in chaos? And you'll start to have answers. It's like, I'm protecting you. I'm keeping you safe. If you have barriers built around you, then nobody can come in. If you have anger as your mechanism of defense, people back off because they don't want to be yelled at, right? And here, it's looking at your defensive mechanisms. It's looking at what you're afraid of and how you cope with that fear. And it's starting to be in the moment. And it's starting to say, I've walked, to hell and back. I've been through the ringer. I know fear. I know doubt. I will not be defied by it anymore. And it brings you to becoming a student of your balance and of your prosperity, of the wisdom that you're planting within your life, within your soul, within yourself, of the place that you need to stand, of the bounty that you want within your life, of what you're seeing as bounty and what you're seeing as disaster. And you're starting to see yourself move forward in the prosperity that is you, in what you need, in who you are, You're becoming a student of the interconnectedness of where you stand. And that leads you, as you are a student in the public arena, grounded in the public, in the prosperity that you want within your life, in the curiosity of new ventures, you find yourself through this whole entire time. You are a queen, but you are a warrior queen. You're done. You're done with the negativity, the anger, the doubt, the fear. You stand in your element. You know your truth because you are being more and more present. And it doesn't mean that the truth that you find one day doesn't get to change into a different truth the other day. We evolve, we change, we have different moods, The day hits us differently. But you fight for your truth. You stand in your truth. And when Spirit says fight, it doesn't mean start an argument. It means look at the weapon of the mind that you have honed. Because our minds set us apart. The fact that we're able to set traps, the fact that we're able to have complex thoughts, okay, and convey those complex thoughts and execute them, sets us apart from other beings on this earth. And now it's time to look at how you've been forged, which is always a tower time, okay? How you've had the imperfections kind of hammered out, how you've been molded and shaped, and where it is that you want to be, okay? Now it's time to look at all of that, all that light coming forward. And it's time to say, what am I going to do with this? This weapon that is me. And weapon is a harsh word to use. It really is. But there is power in that. There is truth in that. There is truth in the force that is you. And I felt like this reading, when it started, it stumbled a bit. Like here, it was like, okay, what does this mean? And how does this? But the heart is going to explain it all. The heart comes into the mind. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, that was it, wasn't it? That was where it needed to be. That was how it needed to be seen. That is where you're moving forward. And that's how you're going to see things. Because all of a sudden, how you've honed your mind, how you've, examined things, how you've, forged yourself, come out of the fire and been stronger and been fiercer because of it. It's because you know your truth. You yourself have been forged. And we talk about the brain. Well, it's the brain and the heart now. Because the brain, it controls so much, right? It controls our motor movement. It controls, our speech, our everything. But the heart keeps us going. Feeds that brain. And so you're having the both come together. Not fully logic and not fully emotion, but a blending of the two. An awareness, a presence, a now. And you know this truth. You're not going to need to be center stage during this time. Actually, you're not really going to like to be center stage. But you contemplate, you step into your element, and you free yourself. Now let's look at the energy that you need to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Cancer needs to be mindful of during this time, February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Cancer? What is the energy that Cancer needs to be mindful of? February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Cancer. What is the energy that Cancer needs to be mindful of? February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This one. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Fantastic. These three. The King of Cups. Water sign energy. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Now the King of Cups is a very interesting energy to be mindful of. Because this can be you getting way too much in your own emotions. This can be somebody around you way too much in their own emotions. This is a person who isn't realizing that the only person that you can rule in your life is yourself. So lead by example. This is a person who is kind of letting their emotions run the whole entire game. Okay? Mood swings, anger, believes that, if I yell out enough or if I can, scare it into you, then you'll listen. And you have the dog right here. It can be that they have this really big, powerful bark that just makes you freeze, makes you stop when you hear it. This is what you need to be mindful of. Letting this energy guide you. Because force does not equal does not equal faith. It does not equal right. And so here, be very, very, very aware of that. And then we have here the death card. This is Scorpio energy, water sign energy, time frame October 23rd to November 21st. This is a person who is sneaky. They're not going to want to tell you everything. They kind of keep themselves to themselves, which is not a bad thing. But this is going to be a person who's kind of like gathering up information, saving things like text messages that are sent or, messages that are sent to them, and using it against people, using things against people. This is somebody who becomes very emotionally manipulative, very much knows the right thing to say to a person, and to get them to feel like they're on their side. And then they'll use that information just completely against them to get what they want. So just be very, very mindful. And then you have the Hierophant, the High Priest, which is Taurus energy, April 20th to May 20th. Stubborn, bullheaded, needs a plan, needs to have everything spelled out a very certain way. This is going to be stifling for you. But it's also going to be almost a sense that you think they're right. You think like, oh, if they have this insight or if they have this understanding, they must be right, or they have this force to them, they must be right. Don't fall into that trap, because that will hold you back too much. Because it, like, might doesn't equal right. And that's something you're going to have to remind yourself of. Cancer, February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Cancer. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Cancer. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Okay, we're going to wait till this runs out. Fantastic. So we have here the Five of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Hermit. The Hermit plays such a pivotal part with you during this time, this turning inward. The Emperor, which is Aries energy, March 21st to April 19th. The Eight of Pentacles. Oh. And the Two of Cups, which is so sweet. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. What is this? Oh, this is the Seven of Pentacles. There we go. And Nine of Pentacles right here. That makes so much more sense. Okay. So we have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is a karmic lesson, a past life lesson, a DNA lesson, DNA curse kind of coming forward. This is looking at things, and it's the baggage that we carry. And it's through prosperity, and it's through other people claiming our prosperity or putting claim on our prosperity. It's like our time, our effort, you don't get to be prosperous because. And here, it's looking at, that negativity that was spoken over you. It's looking at that pain that you have been through, that sense that you grew up hearing, we never get to be successful, never get to be prosperous, or you don't. Like, you just don't measure up. Or it's that relationship that you had where the person started off by telling you how wonderful you were, how much they loved you, how, beautiful you were and just talented. And then it turned to you could never be enough, and you would never be enough. And those are the things here that you're facing. Those are the things that you're looking at. And you're going to see that they were themes, and they have been themes, where you find that at work, your boss kind of treats you the same way, or you have one colleague that you're like, wow, okay. And then you just keep on running into those people, and you're done, or those situations, and now you're done. You're not handling it the same. You're standing up for yourself. Not as a victim, but as a victor. It's like, no, I'm victorious over this darkness that has been around me for just too long. Over this shadow that has been keeping me from seeing the light of my path and the glory of my truth. And it's like, have patience. You're not going to want to. But as things change, have patience. Because in divine timing, you're going to see that the trials, the tribulations, the hardships, the heartbreaks that you have been through, they have been for a reason. It hasn't just all been some sort of cosmetic, sick joke. It's been for a reason. And you are called to something great. And it doesn't mean that you have to take center stage and millions of billions of people have to know you. It can be small. It can be very small. You can change the life of one person through your compassion, through your love, through your listening ear, your connection of soul. And that's a life well spent. So here, be patient. It'll start to make sense. And you're moving towards that realization. It brings you then to Two of Pentacles, prosperity, abundance. It brings you to a balancing of that as everything has fallen down. You have seen what you want. You know what you want. You're like, if I just work and work and work and work and work, and if I burn the candle at both ends, and if I'm everything for everyone, I get to have it, right? I get to have my success, my bounty, my abundance. Here it's stepping back and saying, but if I burn myself out, if I'm sick, if I'm stressed, if I, take moments that I have and I just kind of veg out, just mindlessly do nothing, not even enjoying the connection with the silent, the connection with myself, but mindlessly letting time pass and not even enjoying how it is passing, then I've gotten nothing. And that's what you're not okay with. There is power here. There is abundance here. You need to center yourself to get it. And that's very important. It's come up twice in your inner self. It's a very important path forward for you. It leads you to the Six of Wands. It's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate your new venture. It's time to celebrate the new season you walk into. There's a new adventure here. It's time to say, I am the best person to lead this. I am powerful. I am successful. I am bountiful. Because the best way I can describe the Six of Wands is that boss that you love working for, that raises you up in comparison to the boss that everybody scatters away from and never wants to be around. To be the boss for you in your own life that raises you up, that embraces your grace, that will be extraordinary. It leads you to being a queen of your prosperity as you resurrect, as you rise in your power. This is being a queen of bounty and of abundance, of beauty, of wealth, of I'm going to get my hands dirty. I'm going to dive into it. I'm putting my heart and soul into this because my heart and soul need to be seen within this world. It doesn't matter if nobody sees it. It doesn't matter how long it takes. I know we think it does. And it matters when life is hard, and times are hard and money is thin and everything like that. I know it matters. But to let a bit of your power shine through, to start finding that worth, to start claiming that worth, okay? That's going to be such a game changer because emotionally, spiritually, it sets you on a completely different course and it opens you up to success. And that's the light that gets to shine in on you as your angels guide you. You're being guided by the light of your soul and the passion of your truth. You need to quiet the outside world and embrace the reality of you, which leads you to claiming your throne in the public arena, being strong and capable, powerful and abundant, and saying, I get to lead this life. I get to lead this world because nobody gets to take it from me. Nobody gets to take away me embracing the course of my existence. And it leads you to prosperity. It leads you to your hard work paying off because, Cancer, as much as you're going through, people in the public arena are going to look at you and be like, well, they have it all, don't they? You're not going to get the compassion that you want. So if you need an ear to listen to, if you need somebody to lean on, this is going to be a time where you have to ask for it because they're going to see you as being just fine, of having everything under control. And you're seeing yourself here as working so hard, working through so much fear, doubt, upset, upheaval to forge the prosperity that you want. There are going to be times that you just question if it will ever come. It is. Your fear has held you back from your success, as it holds everybody back from their success. But you start to forge it. You start to create the wealth of your existence. And that wealth just starts raining in. And it leads you to the Two of Cups, to prosperity, love, bounty, abundance, a healing, beautiful love that makes you feel like you've come home as you become a student of the prosperity in your life, of the seeds to plant and nurture, of what to care for, of how to heal. There's a sense that you've come home. You've reclaimed your truth. It brings you, as you are the warrior queen, as you are cutting through the doubts and the fears and claiming the power and knowing what it is that you desire, it brings you to prosperity and wealth. It brings you to a job well done, knowing that there's a lot of hard work ahead, yes. But for now, you get to celebrate how much you have worked, how hard you have worked, the time, the effort, and the energy you've put into it, and rise to success, and rise to bounty. Let's see what your spirit animals have to say. Cancer. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Cancer. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Cancer. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Cancer. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Fantastic. We have here the buffalo spirit. The abundant universe will provide. It will. There's no reason why some people get to live in absolute, unbelievable, insane wealth, and others get to live in despair. The abundant universe will provide. There is abundance here. Raise your vibration. Step into your truth. Let that abundance come to you. And don't walk away from it when it comes, because when you are beaten down, when you have been through despair and darkness, when abundance starts to come, we have a tendency to just be like, when's the next shoe going to drop? When's everything going to fall apart? Is this too good to be true? No, this is your truth. Let it be marvelous. The turkey spirit. Give with gratitude and grace to others, but also to yourself. Give with gratitude and grace. Give to you the abundant blessings, that abundant power. The brown bear spirit. Time to take, what does it say? Take time out. But Spirit is saying it's time to take action. It's time to take action as you take time out and look at the seeds that you've planted over your heart. Take time out to recharge, to regroup, and see what is most important to you. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the bee spirit. Sweet results await. There is something sweeter coming than you have expected. Your subconscious chakra message is divine wisdom. The soul star chakra located 6 inches above your crown. Divine wisdom rains down on you. There's a way that you are being guided here that takes your breath away, that has you, kind of like, really? Why am I thinking of this? Why do I feel the greatest urge to research this? Divine wisdom is leading you on a path that is extraordinary. It brings you then to your subconscious person message, which is strength, Leo energy. Embrace your strength. You're stronger than you think you are, more powerful than you realize. Embrace your strength. And it's strength through kindness and compassion, not brute force strength. Your subconscious tarot message is the Knight of Cups. Subconsciously, you are a knight. You are a warrior. of your heart, of your truth, of your soul, of yourself. Do not be afraid to stand in that truth, to say, this is what I want, and this is what I love from life, and this is how I'm moving forward. Your subconscious, now going deeper, says the Page of Swords, is the Page of Swords. It says to be a student of your mind, of cutting through doubts and fears, of knowing where it is that you stand, of what it is that you desire, of how it is that you want to move forward. Now is the time to learn and to hone your exquisite mind. All right, Cancer. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy, as you claim the wealth that you were born to, as you turn inward and realize that there is more waiting for you to discover than you have ever known, and that this is a time of healing and of finding your way back home. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Cancer.